Alright, welcome everyone watching to the live stream here. I'm going to be, you can see I got about a third of the way through an actual restoration on these headlights. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to try to do this for cheap. When I say try to do this for cheap, I want to use this Harbor Freight kit. Got this at Harbor Freight. Sorry, the mosquitoes are just destroying me out here right now, so forgive my random like disappearance off the camera, but it has everything. 600 grit, 500 grit, sorry, 500 grit, you can't really see that well. 500 grit, there we go. 800 grit, 3000 grit, blah, blah, blah. So you just kind of need a drill and maybe some cleaning. It even has the tape, it comes with the tape, so we're going to give this a whirl, see how it goes. I'm reading through the instructions here. To start with the 500 grit. When the disc is clogged or no longer sands, replace with an 800. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm reading it wrong. Remove the 500 grit, attach an 800. So start with 500. Sand lens using medium to light pressure. Remove yellowing and surface defects. These are fairly clean. They're not that fogged over, so I'm hopeful that I can not use that much 500, but I'm going to start with 500 and work my way down to 800. If you're just joining us, we're going to do some summertime, late summer headlight restoration. They're not bad. And let me show you the other side. The other side in the sun, you can definitely see a little bit better. But we're going to work on cleaning these up. There we go. And I'm going to actually record a YouTube video while I'm doing this, so it's going to be a little odd, but join me while we walk through all this together. Bought this kit off of, from Harbor Freight. It's $14. And so far, it has everything in it. It has the masking tape, has 500 grit, 800 grit. It even has the thing that goes in the drill. So I already prepped these and cleaned them, and I taped them. So let me grab my drill. I have the drill here. Appreciate everybody watching. Sorry, I'm going to just record this segment and then I'm going to actually dive into sanding these with the 500 grit. Three, two, one. So I ripped open the package, and in reading the manual there, I'm not going to read it to you. It's the 3, 2, 1. So I ripped 3, 2, 1. So I ripped up the package, and in reading through the manual, I grabbed my drill. It says I think 1200 to 1600. I have 3, 2, 1. So in ripping open the package there, I read through the instructions, and it says, I believe, a 1200 to 1600 RPM drill is needed for this. I have 15-year-old drill that I've had forever, so I'm sure this has enough RPMs, I hope anyway. But my dumb joke aside, So I ripped open the package there, and I won't read you the sentence-by-sentence instructions. It basically says 1200 to 1600 RPM drill. I have a 15-year-old drill here. 3, 2, 1. So after ripping open the package, I was reading through the instructions, and it says 1200 to 1600 RPM drill. I have 15-year-old drill that I've had forever, so I'm sure this will be fine, so to speak. And then in reading through this, I won't tell you sentence to sentence, but it tells you to start with the 500 and then eventually work towards P800 and ultimately the P3000. So I have a P500 on here, and I don't know if I'm going to need this heavy of a grit, but this is pretty darn smooth. So I'm going to work on starting to sand these down, and if I feel like I'm getting too deep into that, then I'll switch over to the 800. Alright, so how's everyone doing on the live stream? Sorry for the delay there. I'm trying to record a YouTube video for our channel, Fresh Vintage, and run a live stream. So now I don't know if this is 12 to 1600 RPM, but I'm just gonna have at it. And I will make note that this kit does not say a wet sand. It says clean the lens with soap and water, tape it up, and then don't use tape on chip paint, blah blah blah, obvious stuff. Follow the drill manufacturer instructions. Attach 500 grit, so I have 500 on here, and then sand using medium to light pressure. Doesn't say anything about getting this wet, so it's not a wet sand. So I'm going to give this a whirl. I will say I would much rather just replace these headlight assemblies, but these aren't that fogged, so I want to start with this side, and if I feel like I'm getting too deep on these, then I'll just go to the 800 grit. But we'll see how much yellowing I take off of these, and it says if this starts clogging up, then just swap it out. I will make note before I start, this kit comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 800 grit, and then 1, 2, 3. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. So 6 P500s and then 2 P800s. And I'm looking for the P3000s. I guess these are the 3000s here. Let me show you the P3000s. Those are, I mean, they're like paper, you know. They're like rough paper. They're so smooth. But let's see what happens here. Wish me luck, I guess. I got my drill on speed 2. That's as tight as I can get it. So we'll start on the low-hanging fruit, like right in the front corner here. We'll see how this goes. Now I am going to move you over here just so I can get a little bit better angle on the front of this. Leave a comment. Let me know where you're from. If you just found us in the live stream section of YouTube Shorts. Definitely getting some stuff off of there. I think I was putting a little too much pressure on that. Let me take that one off of there. Which is kind of crazy because I barely got like a quarter of that. I probably got like a fifth of the headlight done, and I burned through that pad already. Appreciate everybody watching. I mean, I guess so far so good. Kind of see a little bit of the fog coming off of these things, although you can see that thing is toast already. Wow. I thought I wouldn't need these, but I definitely do, and I may have to reuse that first one just to get it 100% covered. Let me give this a whirl here. Forgive all my, all my talking here, but and doing this now, this is just as much about drill control, because if your drill is all over the place, you're not going to get a good clean cut and surface, cleaning. You can definitely see I'm taking stuff off though. Look at my fender. I don't know how well you can see that, but now, Leo, I see what you said there. Hi Norman, I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. If you're just joining us, I went and bought this cheap kit. It was 14 bucks from Harbor Freight, and it has everything in it, start to finish. The only thing you really need is a drill and some cleaning supplies to clean the headlights. But I'm right in the middle of polishing these with a 500, and then I'm going to go down to an 800 grit. But yeah, I've probably got about an hour invested in this so far, and that includes me setting up for the YouTube video too, to make the video. Switch back to that original P500 that I use, and at this point I only have 6 of these, so I need to save the other 3 for the other side. But I feel like I'm at this point I'm just scuffing the plastic. So I just cleaned. Okay, so I cleaned all the junk out of that. So that might be a solution here. Appreciate everybody watching. This headlight isn't huge. I've definitely seen bigger on cars, but I also kind of scuffed it here, so I'm going to try and get that out of there. If you're not careful, you're going to end up screwing up your headlight surface, which I'm going to replace these anyway. I'm just trying to get one more year out of them. I got that swirl out of there. Probably can't see it that well on camera, but there's some swirls in here, right here. I'm trying to get them out. It's not too bad overall. Alright. So, quick recap, I've burned through 3. They give you 6 of these P500s, so I burned through 3 of them just to get this headlight down, including I cleaned this with actually a wet cleaning to get the gunk out of it. I feel like I could keep doing this headlight, but I'll be here all day tinkering with it. So I want to compare it to how the passenger side comes out. And I guess it's a stupid statement, but use the headlight you like least, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe practice or something, because you have to basically be perfectly flat with light to medium pressure on there. And if you're even just doing that, you're suddenly putting a lot more pressure, which is where my swirls, you can see swirls in here. So I think the passenger side is going to come out a little bit better, but hang tight with me. I'm going to record the other side. I'm going to move you over here and record the other side. So I record part of the YouTube video. Now, if you just found us in the vertical shorts feed on YouTube, welcome to Fresh Vintage Shorts. We have Fresh Vintage, that's our main channel. We also have Fresh Vintage Garage, which is where we have our scan tools and shop equipment. This is Fresh Vintage Shorts is our third channel for our vertical content. So I just figured why not do this? Fall's coming. It's only going to get darker sooner, and we're going to have, driving more nighttime driving very soon. In the next 30 days, we'll all be driving a lot more at night. So I was like, I better do this, and I'm going to go get some new bulbs and throw bulbs in this thing too, just to give me a little bit better nighttime vision capability. So 3, 2, 1. And update here. I didn't show you where I used all three of these, but I definitely used all three on this headlight. And you can see it looks better. It actually looks better on camera versus what I see in real life. But let me give it a quick wipe down, like a dry wipe down, to see if I can get any more clarity out of that. Three, two, one. I mean, it looks pretty good on camera. It's a little foggier in real life than what you see on camera, but just to recap, they give you 6 of these P500s, and I actually had to clean one of these once to make sure that I had enough initial cut, because I didn't think I would need the P6 or 500, and I have to go rate. Operator error. 3, 2, 1. I just did a quick dry dust with my old shirt that I have here as my my rag, so to speak. But it looks better on camera. It's a little foggier in real life, but I mean, we were making progress. And a quick recap: they only give you 6 of these P500s, and then I think they give you 4. Yeah, 4 of the P800s. But I didn't think I would need these, but I actually had to use all 3 for the side and clean one of those out. I did a wet cleaning with one of the Tubba Towels wipes. So your mileage may vary, and I will note that if you have heavier oxidation, you may have to possibly get a few more of these. I didn't see any refills at Harbor Freight, but just keep that in mind. I'm going to set up a shot for the passenger side so you can actually watch me cut the passenger side down with 500 grit right now. Hey all, we appreciate you watching. Harshvardhan? Hi Harshvardhan, I see you there watching from India. Appreciate you watching, Norman and Leo. Please like and subscribe, everybody, my shameless request. And forgive the oddity of the video here. I'm making a YouTube video while I'm live streaming. So I said, hey, why not make a YouTube video? Well, I'm live streaming while I'm making a YouTube video, blah, blah, blah. So let's go to the other side here. Alright everybody, I apologize. Let me put you over here. Now, just you can see I have a separate camera right there that I'm going to do a time lapse. So, here's that. Let me zoom in a little bit. Go. Let me know how the signal is. Please like and subscribe. Forgive my shameless ask for you to like and subscribe, but let me drop this leg down a little bit. There we go. And let's see how this goes. Alright, so this is the passenger side. This is the passenger side with this. These are Velcro. And I'm just going to make a note that I did use a tub of towels. I gave these a wet, like a wipe down with these. And these things work pretty darn good, I will say. Big shout out to our friends up in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm 99% sure these are made in Cleveland. Yeah, FedPro, Cleveland, Ohio. They're made in America. So I've actually used these things. I mean, we're not sponsored by them or anything, but I've used these on the interior because this CRV has a lighter interior, like a light tan, and it gets pretty dang grungy. But I've no joke taking these and just scrubbed where like my elbow and all the grease and stuff, and it just literally scrubbed the dirt right out of it, the upholstery. So we have our camera streaming, or not streaming, sorry, a video below that you can't see. Appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe. Where are you guys from? I see Harshadan, I believe, is from India, so big shout out to them for hanging with us from India. But where are you guys from? What city, state you guys from? So, 500 grits. Amazing. I didn't expect my drill to die. Wow. Well, that throws a whole dang wrench in the entire operation. That's unbelievable. I just charged this thing too before I started the video. Unbelievable. This is the only battery I have too, so wow. Well, this is obviously a big problem. It's weird, this side seems to have a lot more oxidation on it. test the third one here. Man, that's weird. For everyone on the live stream, this passenger side headlight has way more oxidation on it than that driver's side one did. Well, I'm going to go give the drill a charge for about 15 minutes, so forgive the delay here, but don't go anywhere. So forgive my personal commentary while we honestly stall for 15 minutes. But I like planned everything, and now I'm sitting here waiting 15 minutes for the drill battery to try to pop up. Oh man. Let me show you the comparison here. So you can't really see it that well on the camera, but that's definitely foggier than this one. Like, this one's actually coming out really good, but maybe it's because the sun, my guess is the sun is hitting this one and it just looks worse to my eyes. But I took a lot off of that one. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna go see. I have an impact in the house, which is not the right tool for the job, but I'm gonna go see if I can get that one out real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I gave the drill a whopping like 2 minutes worth of charge. Ooh, look at that. Brand new for about a second. Let's see how this goes. Let me turn the phone back on, my time lapse back on. Okay. Whoops. I almost operator error in my my mix up here. So I did just clean that, and let's give this a whirl here. Amazing. Appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully the microphone's not muted. No, the microphone's not muted. Appreciate everybody watching. If you're just joining us, I did the driver's side. Now it actually looks pretty good. It's a little foggier in real life versus on camera. This one's definitely foggier. I'm just going to give this a buff. And this one, I'm actually going to clean these pads, and I'm going to sand it a little bit more with my hands. Obviously not the Harbor Freight kit method approved, but I'm just going to give it a light sanding, because this headlight is definitely way more oxidized for some reason. In fact, I can still see the oxidation on this headlight. It's so bizarre. This headlight, I feel like, has double the oxidation on it that the other one does, or did, I should say. I'm going to put a little bit of isopropyl alcohol in here, just to try and clean that stuff off of there, to kind of get a true idea. Yeah. Man, that's so weird. We're still cutting through that much oxidation on this side. It's like we're dealing with, I wonder, this almost makes me wonder, is this the original OEM headlight, and this thing had a small fender bender to where they replaced just that headlamp assembly, like years ago kind of thing? But it looks better now that I've hit it with some alcohol. Man, I'm actually going to sand this a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to try to get this a little bit better. I'm kind of surprised, honestly, how oxidized this headlight is. You can still see how much of that is coming off of it. And if your drill is old like mine, I'm not kidding when I say I was staring at one of the cheapest, I think it's a Warrior brand. I was like, I should buy that drill. It's 15 bucks. Harbor Freight has a drill for sale for $15 right now. And I almost bought it, but it doesn't have enough RPMs for the requirements of this package. This package suggests you need a 1200 to 1600 RPM. I got this at Harbor Freight, and it suggests you need a 1200 to 1600 RPM which that drill was, I think, up to 500 RPMs or something. So it definitely wasn't cutting the mustard, but it was literally $15, and it was like this perfect light duty, super cheap, like a starter drill, like the drill you get just to kind of start out in life if you're broke. I was like, I should buy that as a backup for this, and I didn't. I'm like, oh, I got a drill at home, it's good. And now I'm paying the price. I will tell you that if this headlight ends up coming out worse than the driver's side, then it's because I sanded it too much. But we'll find out soon enough here. This is why I wanted to do this. I wanted to show like the real world results, because you can go out and buy new headlight assemblies for like $100, and I have full intentions of buying new headlight assemblies next spring. Maybe over the winter we'll do it or something, but I said let's see if we can get through one more season with these, and then next year I'll do the same thing. I'll just sand it again. I will say, compared to what this originally looked like, that is noticeably better to my eye. They both look, despite my complaining about the drill dying and me manually sanding it, that actually looks, even though it looks scratched up, it's probably 30 to 40% better. I definitely took some gunk off of there. I'm not going to mess around with sanding it anymore, because that actually feels pretty darn smooth, all things considered. Now that this headlight is starting to get in the sun is starting to shift. Let me get out of the sunlight, you can see it. Not much, but so I'm going to hit this headlight next. I'm going to hit this headlight next with the 800 grit. So forgive me, I'm going to record a segment now just saying, alright, I sanded this down with the 500, now I'm going to hit it with the 800. I guess the good news here is this won't need as much pressure, because the heaviest cutting, in theory we're done with the heaviest cutting, now it's just kind of polishing. And the polishing should need less and less pressure. I think my mic turned off. Oh no, it's still on. Let's see here. I need to go back to video. There we go. Okay. Three, two, one. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. This is after I've hit this with P500, and let me just compare the passenger side here to the driver's side. The driver's side looks a tiny bit better, especially in the shade, but I would say the passenger side was definitely more oxidized for some reason. I almost kind of wonder if the passenger side was the original OEM, and then maybe there was a small fender bender on this thing where they had to replace this headlamp plastic assembly. But all that to say, you'll definitely get some gunk Look at all that stuff that came off of there. I actually feel like you could probably use one more pad per side just to help cut down the oxidation. Because this one, the passenger side, feels like it still has a little bit more. I could probably do a little bit more on that one, but I'm going to switch over to the 800 grit now and sand both of these down with 800 grit next. Let's see how that sounds, or sounded. Tell you what, if you guys are watching on the live stream, now's the time to do this stuff before it gets dark out. And, I mean, it's going to be probably what, 30 days, and it's going to start getting pretty dark out quickly. The driver's side looks a tiny bit better, especially in the shade. But I would say the passenger side was definitely more oxidized for some reason. I almost kind of wonder if the passenger side was the original OEM, and then maybe there was a small fender bender on this thing where they had to replace this headlamp plastic assembly. But all that to say, you'll definitely get some gunk. Look at all that stuff that came off of there. I actually feel like you could probably use one more pad per side just to help cut down the oxidation. Because this one, the passenger side, feels like it still has a little bit more. I could probably do a little bit more on that one. But I'm going to switch over to the 800 grit now and sand both of these down with 800 grit next. Alright, as my battery sits there and does not charge, I'm hopeful to get through this with the 800 grit polish action. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to hit this with 800 grit. That one's toast. You only get 2 of these 800 grits. Then there's a 3000 grit. I mean, this is so light that I'm barely taking anything off, but I will say this headlight is starting to look a lot better. And so there's that. Oh, there it is. There's that. I'm going to go charge the drill again. It's amazing. I feel like I should just go charge the drill for like an hour. Bear with me while I get the drill plugged in. Let's set up for the other shot here. Now the sun's starting to come out. Set. Let me drop this down. Go. Appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe. Let me know where you're from, what city and state you're from. Definitely check out Fresh Vintage and Fresh Vintage Garage. Our main channels are Fresh Vintage. If I can get this to cooperate, there we go. Fresh Vintage and Fresh Vintage Garage. Fresh Vintage, we go to car shows. We went to SEMA show. We went to Barrett Jackson, Mecum auction. We're going back to SEMA this year. We're going to Vegas this year, so you can check all that out on our channel, Fresh Vintage. And then if you need a scan tool, shop equipment, Fresh Vintage Garage is where we have all of that. For what it's worth, if you're going to tackle this yourself, I would suggest maybe getting a battery, second battery for your drill. Or if you're okay with waiting for the battery to recharge, you could probably get through the 500 grit sanding and recharge the battery, and then do the 800 and maybe the 3000. But yeah, or just if you have a this is an old drill. I bought this drill like forever ago, so I'm probably not going to be able to find another battery for it. Plus, I'm not going to spend $70 on a battery. I could just go buy a cheap drill from, probably buy a whole cheap drill from Harbor Freight for $50 if I wanted to do that. But so from here, you need to use the 3000 grit and then the polisher. And I haven't read the directions on the polisher, but it comes with a tube of polish, and this just Velcros on. So we'll do that here in a little bit. That whole kit was only $14. So if you're thinking about doing this, I would say go check out your local Harbor Freight store. Because I will say this is noticeable, and I think the real moment, the aha moment, is going to be when we have the polish on there. Once we polish these things up, they're probably going to look really, really good. Well, ready or not, drill, battery, here we go. I will give this drill a lot of credit. I've had this thing for flipping ever, like literally ever. This drill's probably at least 15 years old, no joke. pretty good. You got a little wipe down here. So far, so good. Alright everybody, so forgive me, I'm just going to let that battery charge for a little bit. And while I stall for time, let me talk to you about this CRV. I took you out of the tripod, so forgive the shaky footage, but if you're thinking about buying a cheap car, when I say cheap, I paid $5,000 for this thing back in 2021. I forget all the garbage in the car, but this is a pretty solid car. If you need cheap, economical transportation, I think I got 173,000 on it now, but we actually replaced the brakes with, you can't really see them that well, but there are power stop rotors in there, brakes and rotors, and being all-wheel drive, it goes through the snow, so if you're up north, it's a pretty solid machine. And we've done a bunch of stuff to this. There's actually a variable valve timing solenoid. Can't really see it that well, but it's here, and there's one back here, and that'll actually make the engine go into like a limp mode, like a turtle mode, because it thinks that the valve timing is wrong and the timing is messed up. So you need to replace those. I've replaced those. The actual ignition lock cylinder in here, these things, if you ever have one, it actually applies to a lot of Hondas, Civic. This is an 05, so I mean like 98 up to 2005. There's a lot of ignition lock cylinder issues where you turn the key and it just buzzes. I had to take this apart and replace, there's a lock cylinder up underneath here. It's literally like right here. But once you replace that, this thing will start every single time for you. But you really can't go wrong with one of these guys. Let me hit the unlock button. There's my dumpster fire. Everything's fine. Because everything is fine, I guess. It's got a nice pop here. Forgive me for turning this into a car video, but like a car review video, but I'm trying to get that battery some time to charge. But leave a comment. What do you guys think of these headlights so far? Let me get you a little closer up shot. I'm actually quite impressed. This one looks, this one looks pretty good. I'm pretty darn impressed with that. This one's more scuffed. I feel like if this one was as clear as, it looks pretty clear on camera, but this one is probably about 15-20% clearer than this one. I feel like this could use a little bit more sanding. I'm probably going to sand this. Let me throw you back in the tripod here. And I'm just going to hand sand this for a couple minutes. Forgive the delay while we stall for time. Part of me wants to be disappointed that battery died, but honestly, I can't fault it. It's forever old. I've had that drill. I hardly ever use that drill anymore, so the fact that I suddenly went like full body shop mode with it. I went full body shop mode with it. I'm not surprised that it died on me like that. It's amazing. I'm still taking a lot of gunk. I feel like this is the factory headlight assembly. And if this one ends up looking worse at the end of the video, it's probably because I hand sanded it, to be honest. Partially hand sanded it. I mean, you could do the exact same thing. You would just need to go get like a Meguiar's kit or something. You just hand sand it all. But I'll say if you have a drill, just let the drill do the work, at least until the battery dies. Maybe go get yourself a second drill battery. I feel like I'm just making this worse at this point. So I'm going to stop doing that. I hate to say it, but I won't be surprised if that headlight ends up looking worse than the driver's side. I'm really amazed at how much better that driver's side one looks compared to the passenger side. I think the polish will be the final reveal. That'll be the big moment. I will say, when you get this headlight wet, this headlight, you can see it when I'm hitting it with the alcohol. When this thing's wet, it is pretty clear. Honestly, I feel like I could get some more sandpaper and just really sand this down. I just got the crap out of that right there. That's on me though, that's not on the kit. Just some personal commentary. I know a lot of you aren't interested in starting a YouTube channel, but if you are, you need to be hyper prepared and hyper organized. So if you're a chronically disorganized person, you might want to get yourself organized before you start. Let me give that drill battery just another minute. I will say that headlight looks worlds better than it did when I started. You're not going to be able to see it that good, but let me show you on my phone what that headlight looked like when we started. So this is what it looked like. This is kind of what it looked like to start with. It's definitely looking noticeably better. Let me see if I can focus on there you go. It gives you an idea of what it looked like beforehand. And they weren't that bad beforehand, but it's definitely probably given me, I'd say, 30–40% better night driving vision. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to go grab that drill battery. Oh man, I hope it doesn't rain soon. appreciate everybody watching. Stick with me here. I'm gonna go to the whatchamacallit, the 3000 grit next. So that's 3, 2, 1. We are making progress. This is after 500 grit and 800 grit and a wipe down, a dry wipe. Let me show you the passenger side. I still think this passenger side's a little bit foggy, but the next step is actually a wet wipe. You want to switch to the 3000 grit, and you need a wet wipe. You actually need to get this wet enough to make a slurry. They even call out in the instructions a white slurry along the surface here. So I'm going to wet this one and then hit it with the 3000 grit right now. Forgive everyone watching here on the live stream. I think we're back on track. You can always count on our local ambulances to be running around, running their sirens while making a video. It's almost guaranteed. Keep wetting that. Go. It says get that wet enough. It says you want to get it wet enough to where you get a white slurry, and you can't see it, but I'm starting to see it on there. Three, two, one. So I've been wiping this surface, and you can't see it, but on my fingers, you're still taking stuff off, and they want you to keep it wet enough to get a white, basically a white film on there. So as I do this, you want to make sure you're keeping that wet. And you can see I'm making that white slurry. It's kind of faint, but that's what you're looking for as you do this final step before you hit it with the polish. Okay. Oops, I just kicked the tripod. Sorry, everyone. Now I'm going to give this a final wipe. I'm going to wipe that with isopropyl alcohol. Man, that looks beautiful. Compared to what it was, wow, that looks so much better. I'm gonna go inside and grab some dry towel action. Give me a minute, let me go grab some towels. Appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe. I didn't see any comments about where everyone's watching from. Love to hear where you're watching from. This was a pretty liberal amount of isopropyl alcohol to get all the final gunk off of it. I mean, that's looking beautiful compared to what it was. So, all things considered, this is well worth the 13 bucks, 14 bucks that I spent. I think I spent $14.58 with tax or something in a couple hours. They definitely look way better than they did before, I'll tell you that. And again, look at like that one. I mean, that one looks pretty darn good. This one is a little foggy. I would like to give that one, it looks better on camera than it does in real life. I would like to give that one a little bit more of a sanding, but it's funny because that actually looks like 20-30% better on the video stream than it does in real life. But I mean, I think that one, that headlight is ready for final polish. Unfortunately, I need to battle and contend with my drill battery going dead yet again. So this poor passenger headlight is turning into like the red-headed stepchild, which I don't like saying, but by the time I get over here, the stupid drill battery is dead. So I think I'm going to focus on just the center area here. And honestly, I'm just going to let this battery charge up while I finish this by hand. I can't fault the battery. I'm going to plug this in and then I'm going to hand sand the rest of that. So forgive all my delay here. I appreciate everybody watching. I'm going to just work on giving this a final sand by hand. It's not ideal. Something rolling by. What is it? what that was. Let's see what that was. Looked like a Supra or a Mustang or something. Now this is working pretty good, all things considered. Doing this part by hand, I think it's because I'm keeping this so wet. Having this be like a wet sand, I was wondering when I first bought this kit, I was like, I feel like you might get a better overall sand job, like a gunk removal, if you will, if you wet sanded this entire process. But I'm guessing they want you to keep the initial process dry to get more on, like more contact. I just have to accept that this headlight's not going to look that good. The driver's side, honestly, looks pretty good. Make no mistakes, let me show you. Make no mistake about this car. This thing is not. Let's get this wet again. This car is not like pristine. It's got some miles on it. It's 20. Actually, it's 20 years old. Now that I think about it. But yeah, I mean, let me show you the paint's peeling up there. The hood looks like that. So I'm just trying to get these through one more season. Alright, I'm going to hit this with some isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, I feel like once we hit these with polish, that's going to be the real aha moment. I will say these are definitely better, although I kind of scratched. I feel like this headlight did not get the due justice. It needs a little bit more love, like a little bit more polish and cleanup. Well, I'm going to record. A section here for the video. Go. 3, 2, 1. After 3, 2, 1. This is after 500 grit, 800 grit, and now 3,000 grit, and I wiped them down with isopropyl alcohol. Definitely better looking, although this passenger side one, I feel like it's just not quite as good as the driver's side. But from here, I am going to grab the polish and make sure the drill battery is charged up, and then we're going to hit these for the final polish right now. I appreciate everybody sticking, hanging out here. Wow, this phone I'm using a Moto G stylus 2024, and surprisingly the battery, for being 90 minutes in, the battery is still almost full. It's like 85%. There we go. Now, it says to get a couple dots in the manual here. It actually says put a dime size amount on the pad surface before turning the drill on. Smear the polish around the lens. Honestly, I have a tube, so I'm going to use half on one side, half the other. It says don't use too much, or you might have more cleanup. Honestly, I don't care about that. I just want these to look better. Forgive me, everyone, the mosquitoes are just getting to be outrageous right now, so I'm going to try and do this as quick as I can, because these mosquitoes are just getting to be horrible. Three, two, one. We have the final step. We're going to go ahead and put what they call a dime size amount of the polishing compound, not on here, but on here for step one. And that's actually sealed. So I'm going to flip the lid. Boom, there we go. They say put a dime size amount on here. That's more than a dime. But I want to spread that around the surface here. And they said don't let this go dry, so I'm going to go a little silly with it. I'm going to put a fair bit on here, but I don't want that to go dry. There we go. And let's see the magic happen here. Okay. So honestly, full disclosure, this drill has been going dead the entire time I've been making the video. So I've been charging this for 15 minutes, and then I hit a headlight, charge it for 15 more minutes because this battery is old. But maybe get yourself a drill with 2 batteries or a corded drill or something to do this. But I'm going to go put this back on the charger, and then we're going to wipe this down and kind of see the final product right now. We appreciate everybody watching on the live stream here. Let's see here. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. It doesn't say how long to let that sit, but I gave it, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes, and I did use the same towel that I had the isopropyl alcohol on, but I flipped it over to the dry part. I gotta say, this is pretty darn impressive for being a 14. 3, 2, 1. I have to say, for the price we paid for this kit, that is pretty impressive, knowing what it looked like. And let me throw the original one up on the screen. This is why I thought these headlights would be a good candidate, because they weren't too yellowed, and this will give me 1 more year out of these before I pull the bumper off and replace them. But wow, what a difference. That is quite impressive. It actually, now it looks better in real life. Let me get a shot over here. 3, 2, 1. It actually looks better in real life than it does on the screen. Three, 2, 1. It actually looks better in real life than it does on screen right now, but still really, really impressive. Let's jump over to the driver's side and we'll finish that one up next. So thanks for sticking with me here, everybody, on Team Headlight Restoration here, live stream. That headlight looks really solid. I'm very impressed. I'm extremely impressed with how well that worked. By comparison, this looks pretty good in the light, but man, it's really gonna shine once I hit it with that polish. So forgive the sun being there. That thing is just gonna pop like crazy once I hit it with the drill. Appreciate everybody sticking with us. What I did is I just put that on the pad there. And there's so much left, just some personal commentary. There's so much left in this kit. I mean, I barely used, if I used that whole tube during this process, I would basically waste it and it'd be flying all over the car. But I'm going to save this. And honestly, I'll probably just touch these things up in a couple months, because these are only going to last like 3 to 6 months. They never last more than, I'd say, I don't know, you get maybe a winter out of them. But I'm going to record this last section. Three, two, one, and here we go. I charged up the battery drill. I hope it lasts. Wow, I screwed that up. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Here we go. This is the final step on the driver's side. I charged up the drill battery, and I already did this. And just some personal commentary. There's so much, as I almost get that on my shirt, there's so much of this left that it's not something Harbor Freight recommends, but I'll probably just save that and touch it up and hit them and say like the new year or something, just to keep them looking as good as long as possible. But let me flip this over to 2, and I'm just going to try and polish this up. This drill battery has been a little bit of a thing the entire process, but it's staying alive barely. Not Harbor Freight recommended, but I'm going to switch to 1. Try and get through this. They say 1200 to 1600 RPM, so this last part is definitely, I'm doing this because I have to. I'd highly suggest you have 2 batteries on hand or a corded drill or something just to get through this. This battery is probably 15 years old. And if this headlight doesn't look as good as the passenger side, it might be because I'm literally just going too slow right now. Poor battery's almost completely dead. I'm probably putting an unnecessary amount of pressure on the edge over here, but I'm just trying to hit this once. Where I really want these to shine, no pun intended, is right here with the main. It's barely turning. Well, we'll see how good it looks with a nice low speed polish. Okay, battery's pretty much dead. 3, 2, 1. Let's get the final reveal here. I will say that surface, you can hear it is squeaky clean. It literally is squeaking. Now, I can already see where this could be better. and it's not the kit's fault. I think the drill is probably the #1 culprit, and that's on me because I didn't realize that battery was that bad. Just trying to get a little bit more gunk off of these. But I mean, that looks amazing compared to what they originally were. Let me throw the original one up on the screen. Yeah, that looks mighty fine. Let me get you a close-up shot of that. Three, two, one. Let me get you a 3, 2, 1. Let me get you a close-up shot of this here. Here's the passenger side. 3, 2, 1. Here's the passenger side. Hey, we appreciate everybody sticking with us. I mean, these look pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. I'm actually going to back this thing. Stick with me. I'm going to back this up into the shade. I want you to see what these look like in the shade. Bear with me. Get you a close-up shot of what these look like in the shade. Very, very solid. Yeah, check these out. I mean, they look really, really good for the 14 bucks I spent at Harbor Freight. Definitely worth it, the time. Very, very impressive. I'm just going to move the, bear with me, I'm just going to move the car a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, those look pretty solid. Three. Come on, phone. Really? 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I backed out into the shade. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I backed out into the shade, and man, these things are really, really nice looking now. I mean, full disclosure, he's going to get, what, 3 months, 6 months, and they're going to start fogging up. 3, 2, 1. So, I mean, full disclosure, you're going to get 3 to 6 months, and they're going to start fogging up. But yeah, I'll just hit them again with the polish. But I mean, realistically, they look really, really good. I'm going to peel the tape and shut the hood and get you the final product here. Pretty darn good overall. Pretty darn good overall. And it helped a lot that they weren't that bad to start with, but they definitely needed it. I have half a tube of polish too, so I can hit these things in probably 3 to 6 months and keep them looking good throughout the whole winter into the spring before we replace them. Forgive everyone on the live stream there. I'm gonna just record this last point, this last section. Bear with me. 3, 2, they're gonna start fogging up. Bear with me. I'm going to record this last section, and then from there, I'm just going to recap everything that I did for you guys. Three, two, one. Here's the final product. And I mean, I gotta say, for what I spent here, they came out really, really nice. Three, two, one. 3, 2, 1. Overall, it took me about an hour and a half with me recording the video, so 3, 2, 1. Overall, it took me about an hour and a half, including recording the video, so not too bad. It probably would have been less time if I wasn't waiting for the drill to recharge, but I can't fault the drill for that. So 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. So wrapping up the video here, really, really nice job. Big shout out to Harbor Freight. I'm not going to throw the price in here, but go check it out on their website because prices fluctuate, especially with tariffs being such a thing in at the time of the recording. That being said, if you have a drill, some cleaning stuff, you don't need that much to make this happen. And at the tail end of the video, I'm going to run out and buy some headlights. So you're probably going to see a nice shot of this thing with new super bright headlights in it. I'm not going to do LEDs or something crazy like that, but just whatever would advance to like the higher end, medium to high end. So I am longer term going to drop this bumper and take all this apart and replace these, but this gets me through the winter. The nighttime driving is definitely coming up. 30 days from now, it's going to get noticeably darker sooner, and that's not even before time change. All that to say, I'm going to throw some higher, wattage, some higher power, potency lights in here, but big shout out to Harbor Freight for the price on this thing. Pretty solid. If your headlights are a lot more oxidized, you may want to consider something a little heavier duty, but these weren't that bad, so I figured I could get one more season, winter driving season, so to speak, out of them. But yeah, go check this thing out. We'll leave a link for this in the video description, along with the headlights I buy, in case you want to pick them up. But with that, we appreciate you watching. If you like classic cars, if you like muscle cars, if you like keeping your cars certified fresh and on the road, Fresh Vintage your channel, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, live stream viewing audience, let's hope that I was pretty visible in that shot. Pretty solid. If your headlights are a lot more oxidized, you may want to consider something a little heavier duty, but these weren't that bad, so I figured I could get one more season, winter driving season, so to speak, out. Yeah, go check this thing out. And I'm not that centered. Oy vey, I say, everyone watching on the live stream, as I show you my license plate. There we go. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. There we go. Okay, so that and that. Let me just say everything I literally just said again. Okay? Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Wrapping up the video here. These things look really, really nice. And big shout out to Harbor Freight. If you didn't see it before, that's the Pittsburgh Deluxe Lens Renewal System. It actually is item 62663. Now before we end the video, I'm going to run to advanced, right, nothing crazy like LED projector lights or something, but something a little higher potency just for the upcoming driving season. It's going to be very dark very quickly here in the next 30 days, so I'm hoping these will last me through the winter before I ultimately drop the bumper and tear all this apart and replace the plastic headlight assemblies. But I think this will do the trick for this winter. And if you have heavy oxidation, these weren't that bad, but maybe get something a little heavier duty, or just get some more sandpaper and just manually sand them down before you use the kit or something. But overall, I was pretty darn impressed with this, especially for the price. We'll leave the link for this on Harbor Freight's site, or you can just stop by your friendly neighborhood Harbor Freight and check them out. Really, really solid unit. And like I said, we're going to do an very ending shot here. You'll see me cut in with the headlights that I bought and show the like super bright, medium to high brightness level here. But with that, okay, so 3, 2, 1. We appreciate you watching. If you like classic cars, if you like muscle cars, if you like keeping your cars fixed up and certified fresh on the road, Fresh Vintage your channel, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Well, let's hope that that one works, because I moved. How am I, oh my gosh, how am I still not in the shot? Good grief. I'm still not in the flippin' shot. Unbelievable. Well, I'm just going to have to pull back here. Alright, I'll do it one more time. This is where having a cameraman, someone behind the camera to watch what you're doing and say, take a step left. Okay, one more time here. I'm amazed this microphone has, I'm going to get closer like this too, so 3, 2, 1. Wrapping up the video here, shouting out the Pittsburgh Deluxe Lens Renewal System. Really, really solid kit. I mean, you see the final product here, really, really clean finish. This is enough to get me through winter. It's not 100% perfect looking at it. I see some stuff here I'd like to sand down more, but honestly, I'm just going to drop the bumper and tear this all apart and replace this stuff next spring. So I figured this would get me through the winter, and I actually have enough in that polish tube that I could probably just hit these on like New Year's or something, just clean them up real good and give them a little bit more life, because I'm realistically probably going to get like 6 months out of these before they start hazing over again. But stop by your local Harbor Freight. We'll leave the link for this in the video description you're watching now. Along with, you'll see us cut into the video here. I'm going to run to Advanced Auto Parts and get myself, not super crazy like LED projector lights, but something medium high, just to give me a little more brightness as I'm driving, because 30 days from now it's going to get very dark very early, and that's even before we have like daylight savings time and then the winter driving season. But all that to say, I'm really, really impressed with how these turned out, and a big shout out to Harbor Freight for selling this for the price. I'm not going to mention the price, but it was extremely affordable, and the people watching on the live stream have already seen it. But with that, we appreciate you watching. If you like classic cars, if you like muscle cars, if you like keeping your cars certified fresh and on the road, Fresh Vintage your channel, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. All right, I think we actually got it on that one. Yeah, I actually am in the shot this time, and I'm wearing my goofy hat. Yes, cut into the video here. I'm going to run to Advanced Auto Parts and get myself not super crazy like LED projector lights, but something medium high, just to give me a little more brightness as I'm driving, because There we go. So, quick recap, everyone, for how we got here. And if you're still watching, big shout out. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you haven't checked out our channel, Fresh Vintage, let me just flip there. If you haven't checked out our channel, Fresh Vintage, definitely go check it out. Classic cars, muscle cars. If you need a scan tool, if you need a shop equipment, if you need a battery jump box, if you need TPMS tools, go check out our other channel, Fresh Vintage Garage. All that to say, let me just quick recap how we got here. So this guy, you can find it at Harbor Freight. I didn't want to mention it in the recorded video, but I'll mention it here and say this was $13.99. I think I paid $14.58 at my local Harbor Freight. The number is right there, 62663. And it comes with, it's kind of hard to read, but it comes with masking tape, P500, P800, P3000, and the actual polishing kit. But the only thing you need to supply, if you really want to skimp, is a rag and some alcohol. Now, I clean these. I just have, honestly, an old t-shirt and this, and then a bottle of alcohol. And if you didn't see them earlier in the video, these things are really solid. They're made in the US, and I actually use them on this interior because it'll get stains out, and it'll get, especially on lighter interiors. I mean, it does a great job in the car, period, and it's meant for cleaning your hands, but I use it for the interior, and you'd be amazed at how well these things work. And definitely, they're made in the US, so the tariffs aren't part of the conversation. But yeah, all that to say, I mean, the final product here is pretty darn solid. I'm pretty impressed. Get you a shot here of that. And then here's the passenger side. But yeah, with that, we appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. Go check out our other channels, Fresh Vintage, Fresh Vintage Garage, and also if you need a scan tool, if you need shop equipment, if you need a TPMS tool, if you need a Robinair AC machine, we got a lot of awesome products on there. ScanToolDepot.com. Go check it out. With that, we appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.